Welcome to Beats and Bourbon. My name is DJ Vader, Cincinnati-based DJ who has traveled the world DJing alongside some of the greatest names in DJ and music icon history. Okay? Today, we're diving into the world of Beats and Bourbon, a fascinating new show that's all about the music, the drinks, and the stories that bring them together. Beats and Bourbon is a unique blend of music and entertainment featuring some of the most talented artists in the industry, from country to pop to rock to hip hop and everything in between. The show is all about celebrating the artists and their craft. But it's not just about the music. Beats and Bourbon also explores the world of spirits with each episode featuring a different bourbon and cocktail recipe. So, if you're a music lover or a cocktail connoisseur, the show is definitely for you. Beats and Bourbon. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Beats and Bourbon. My name is DJ Vader, where we dive into the DJ's journey as told by themselves, as it should be, because the DJs matter. Okay? For my next guest, it is one of my favorite DJs, the phenomenal, the legendary DJ Diamond out of Cincinnati, Ohio. The only DJ I know that had a contract with Subway. What DJs you know about that? All right? We can't wait to get into the story coming up right now on Beats and Bourbon. DJ Diamond, the man himself, the legend. What's good, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, baby. Thank you for having me, man. I'm humble, excited, man, and honored. Hell,
well, the honor is mine, man. You know, welcome to Beats and Bourbon. So, you know, this show is about you, man. I want you to talk about your journey and all these things, and then we're gonna sip on some great bourbon. The bourbon for today is Bardstown Origins, and we'll get into that in a few. So,
all right, let's go.
How'd you come up with the name Diamond?
My daughter's mother from the Players Club.
Okay.
Cause I was, what's crazy, that's funny that you even mentioned that. I was rapping before I was DJing.
Oh, word?
And I went by The Great Unknown.
The Great Unknown?
The Great Unknown.
Okay, so that was the rap name.
Yeah, that was the rap name. That was with a group back in Withrow called Pump It Up Production.
Okay.
And shout out to DJ Eminem.
Okay.
You know, he
the legend.
Yeah, the legendary DJ Eminem. And he taught. We used to skip school.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, well, since y'all didn't want to learn something at school, you can learn how to DJ.
Mm-hmm.
And I always had it in me to in some music space. I had it in me in some music capacity, but I never really had no one to really guide me into putting it all in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And he put the needle on a record and he showed us how to count when the record starts. And from that very moment, I just took off.
Okay, all right.
I just took off at that very moment. And after that, man, the rest is history. So I was running around DJ Great Unknown. I was doing house parties, me and my nephew. I had a Rent-A-Center system, an old Radio Shack mixer, 2 sound design belt-driven turntables that I glued 2 nickels on top. And I destroyed many of my mother's records. and I was mixing with a Circuit City 5-disc changer, 2 boom boxes, and I kept hitting the play, the pause to keep it on beat.
Uh-huh.
To keep it on beat. And the turntable was belt driven and they had no speed. It was only 33, 45, 78. So I kept learning how to hit the 33 to 45 to catch it on beat.
Uh-huh.
And if people ever see me DJ, they will, if they watch my hands long enough, it's still that same circular motion with the pitch control, because that's how I was learning how to mix. And then one day my daughter's mother, we was watching the Players Club, and she was like, "You should just go out and name Diamond." And I didn't pay no mind. And for a Christmas gift, she got me a name plate. Back when that was real big. Back you had to have a name plate, I guess, in order to be cool nowadays. So she got me that, and it was spelled just like the diamond, DYMOND. And I was like, nah, that's too much like a female. I said, if I'm gonna be diamond, I'm just gonna be just like the jewel itself, which the diamond is this girl's best friend. So I just ran with that and I just ran with it, and here we are to this day. And I got my start with Andrew Williams from the Ritz.
Drew.
Yeah,
right?
Drew. And what's funny with that, his sister Patty was dating my brother Tony.
Okay.
And we lived in Price Hill, and Drew would always come to the house, and I would always be listening to some music. And one day my mother put me downstairs, and she had that, everybody probably had that record player that sounded like a coffin when you open it.
Yeah.
And she would have a big stack of records, and she would just put on there when one ends, the other one began, and it would just shuffle down, shuffle down, shuffle down. And my job was to put them in their original covers, but I never seen them when she took them out. So that was my job. And I think my little nephew has a picture of me sitting with all the record covers all around. And one record I remember was this crazy. I bought it when I first got my paycheck, and it was Heart, the group Heart, and that was the first record on. It was on Mushroom record labels, and that was when I first got my paycheck. I bought that record.
Okay.
I bought it, and I still have that record to this day.
Oh, do you? You got it framed or anything?
Nah, a lot of stuff, I just have it just sitting around. I'm not really a frame kind of guy, Vader. I'm a real simpleton guy. Things that have sentimental values, I just put it in a place where I know it's at.
Gotcha.
But if I ever want to just really just show people some things that has like sentimental attachment to me, I ain't got no problem going to my storage unit or some location in the house or the she shed and just show them some things that kind of play a role in what you say legendary part of my legacy.
Gotcha. So speaking of your legacy, like you said, you got your start with Drew, right? And I remember those days. They was pretty magnificent in the city. But what would you say would have been your biggest moment thus far in DJing?
My biggest moment, Judy Jones.
Shout out to Judy.
Yeah, shout out to Judy Jones and Jamar. When she started promoting me, I was probably only DJ in the city with a street team. She came with flyers, and that which led to a Subway deal, a T-Mobile deal. I had a situation with Devereaux's. I had two of the biggest posters in the Ritz, and Drew had a license plate that said "Why Dream," and I came up with "No Sleep, Why Dream." And as soon as you walk in the Ritz, you seen two big posters of me. So that was I would say one of my biggest moments. Was
Good.
That right there, to see that when I walked in the Ritz and I seen that, and now that everybody saw that. Radio was not my biggest thing, because to be honest with you, radio was not on my bucket list.
I've heard other DJs say that, but look at you now. How long have you been on the radio?
16 or 17 years. And the thing with radio was, shout out to DJ Skills, because he really...
Skills with a Z.
Yeah, DJ Skills, he really did. He shaped me. He made me understand the difference between being on radio and being as a street DJ.
Because it's a difference.
It's a real difference. He taught me hits. But I'm thinking in the streets, it's a hit. That's why I'm on the radio. No, it's a balance.
Yeah.
Because one hand washes the other. Like what they say, one hand washes the other, and both hands washes the face. That's what I learned in radio. And yeah, he played a major role in my career as a DJ skills.
Yeah. You know, and speaking of the difference between a club or street DJ and a radio DJ, like you gotta play the hits, like
because that's what people are accustomed to.
Yes, and then not everything that equates in the club is gonna transfer to radio.
Nah, and the same thing that's on radio, people get tired. They don't want to hear that in the club.
Right.
People that go to the club or the bars, they want to hear the music that they drove to that bar or that club.
Yeah.
Radio, they know that's where it lives at, that's where it stays, and if they want to hear it, they can go get it right then and there.
Right. So with your long radio career, what was have you ever had a mix-up on the mix show where you accidentally had to dump it because you played the dirty version?
So that's funny you mentioned that. I yes, any radio DJ has played the dirty version.
Absolutely.
Because it will say clean, and we trust that it says clean. But I never really got in trouble with that. I got in trouble with playing songs that was not supposed to be played on radio. I stayed in I stayed in what they call the radio office all the time because, again, I'm coming from the streets onto radio, so I'm still in that chances make champion phase. That was my mindset because I figured like we in the club, but we on the radio,
right?
And I always had a tug of war with Skills about that. But then eventually, as he started to see the reaction of certain songs, this, that, and the third, he would always give me the freedom to, okay, just sandwich it. And what do you mean by sandwich it? Sandwich it with two hits.
Right.
Start with a hit, throw it in, and then come out with a hit. So that's always been my formula to this day. I play a hit, something new, and then a hit, whether it's new or a mashup or a throwback. So that's usually my DJ Boxer combo.
Okay, all right. And then that combo has lasted you on the radio for?
16 plus years.
Yeah, and that's a great thing.
Yes.
So with that, with your long radio career, you know, you're in a very unique spot where you've had 16 plus on the radio and longevity outside of that, right? So what changes have you seen in the past, let's say 10 years?
But from radio or in a DJ world?
Well, let's touch on DJ world later, but like just with radio.
The people's attention span. It's not as wide as it used to be. In radio, you will get what they call TSL, that means time spent listening, and it's a quarter hour, so it's 15 minutes. That's how mix shows are so important. You know, mix show can be anywhere from 15 to 18 minutes long,
right? Because
you got an amount of time to get as many songs in to keep people's attention. But what has changed from 10 years ago to now, their attention span is lesser. That's why the songs is like 1.5 to 2 minutes long, because that's the people's attention span. Gotcha. It's not they playing the same songs over, or they don't want to hear commercial, or they change the station. They're just trying to find things to keep them attention there, like bang, bang, bang. I want to hear this. I need to hear that.
Now, does that equate to the outside of the radio station, to the club?
Oh, big time, because people have cell phones now. People will come. A person will come to a club, party, whatever. They will have more of a party on their phones then they will interact with. They don't even interact with the folks they with. They probably interact with them later in conversation because of a text or a tag. But I mean, it's a battle because I'm up there doing what I feel is my best work, and I'm trying to hold your attention, for 4 hours.
Yeah.
But your phone, DJ Mike Drop did a party. No cell phone party. And
That was fun.
that was, shout out to him. That was very creative, and that was genius. That was genius. It's one of the moments like, damn, why I ain't think of that? But shouts out to DJ Mike Drop for that. That was very unique and creative, and it did good because people talking about on social media that it was a party, and I just wish more folks understand that we're there to do a job, give them the best show. That when I DJ, in my mind, I want people to understand this is my conversation to
Right.
you. This is, when I play a song, I'm bringing you into my world.
Yeah. If you listen close enough, every DJ should tell a story. The great ones tell a story. The music tells a story, and you got to follow that journey.
Yes, you have to.
But
Yes.
people want to come in and rip up pages on the story, and I mean, listen, I tell people all the time, listen, they don't seem like it, but I'm working. Like, this is work for me, right? Not only do I got to make the people at the bar get their drink, which makes the house happy, bring them from that bar to the dance floor and rotate. DJing is a science, and people don't really understand that.
Yes.
It's a constant rotation.
It's a constant rotation. And what's interesting to that point, I put myself on a time measure. Like radio, I give them 20 to 25 minutes. I watch the bar. I watch how many people go to the bar. I actually count cups, and my playlist, when I'm in my zone, I'm driving them to dance, and I'm driving them to drink. The room would shift, like you said, it would shift. It would shift.
Absolutely.
And some DJs get nervous when they play into an empty room because they looking at it like, I'm here, I start at 10. I'm ready to go, bang, bang, bang. But build up.
But that sometimes is an inexperienced DJ. Like, you're gonna play to some empty rooms. You're gonna play when people are ready to dance. They're gonna let you know. They're gonna say, okay, I think I had enough of these. Come on, girl, let's get up and dance. Like, you gotta understand, DJs. You gotta understand the science of DJing, right? It's not just about playing the hottest song at 10 o'clock. Because 10 o'clock, nobody may not hear it or may not even care.
And that was the thing I learned with radio by DJing live from the club. We will make it sound like the place is packed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will have to play songs to get people there.
Yeah.
To get people there.
Yeah.
Oh, he playing my song and I ain't there to dance. So when I'm playing to an empty room, I'm creating a dance floor, I'm trying to pack the floor.
Yeah.
I look for one person. And I kind of use that person to encourage other folks.
Exactly.
It's like fishing, man.
Yeah.
That song is the bait.
Yep.
Oh, I got a small one.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get a big one.
Yeah.
And then once everybody is on there, it's showtime.
Yeah. It's showtime.
It used to be a golden rule. Was it 10 to 12 is them, 12 to 2 is me? No, it's we sharing.
Yeah.
The DJs and the bartenders, we share. We have a lot in common, more than people think. And yes, you say we are working. I'm up there working. I was working. My job don't start at 10. My job starts the moment I get booked.
Yep.
Because I'm putting myself in the mental space of rocking this party.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, once you start playing music, you gotta assess what's in front of you. Right?
Oh, for sure.
And the best DJs are the ones that can read the crowd, to figure out the puzzle.
Yes.
Every crowd is a puzzle.
Yeah.
It may be the same songs, but it's a different puzzle, right? And so when to me, I love the challenge of trying to read the room, right? Well, who's that person right there? Well, they nodding their head. Okay, I might be on the right track. Well, who's that over there? All right. Well, they coming in dancing, so we good. All right. Fish and hook, like you said. Reel them in, bring them out, let them sing. Are y'all ready? Let's go, right? So it's always a challenge, but I remember back in the days of some of the clubs, they would have the 10 o'clock DJ come in, and the management would tell them, you got to play the hottest songs right now. Well, it's a waste of music. It's a waste, yeah, because it's not going to have the same impact. If people are sitting at the bar drinking, they're there for a reason, because they want to have conversation. They might want to talk to the bartender or whoever they came with. They're not ready yet. So that song that has the greatest impact, it's not going to be at 10 o'clock. But you can play it, right? But now you kind of wasted a song, because now if you reset, which may not be until 11:30, almost midnight.
Yeah. For sure.
And if the song is that hot, you're not playing it at midnight.
Well, I have this golden rule, Vader. I just like I don't chew my food twice, I don't play a song twice. Mm-hmm. I come in there with a lot of songs. Mm-hmm. My job is to play a lot of songs.
Gotcha.
That's always gonna be my stake in the ground when I'm DJing, because I'm playing for everybody.
Yeah.
Not saying that I don't take requests, because I use requests as a compass to get me through the night. But when I say I play a lot of music, I play a lot of music because, for one, people got cell phones. They got music in their cell phones. I'm not this genius with this mindset. I know what people want to hear, but if I play a lot of music, it kind of give me, I can really assess that and go back to the drawing board and say, this song works, this song don't work, and I try to find songs that will complement the songs that don't work and put it to the songs that do work. So it'll be that storyline.
Gotcha.
It'll start forming that storyline.
Gotcha.
Because it always begins with the introduction to a book. I'm getting you there, we're in the middle. Go close the chapter out at 2 o'clock or whatever time my booking is ending.
Good. That's a great way. I hope that everybody that's watching and listening is writing down notes, right?
Yeah, so, this is a real up close and personal with DJ Diamond. I'm really going to put y'all in my mind.
So, we talked about stints in the clubs and things like that. And you mentioned about your style, about, playing a lot of music. Has it changed over the years?
Yeah. Technology has made my style change.
So speaking of technology, what do you see DJs using in 5 years?
It's gonna be all AI.
I said that on another show. Yeah.
It's gonna be, it's someone right now that's cloning the physicality of a DJ. And I'm talking about the arm movement. The brain power is already there because AI is that right there. But they're developing the arm movement, the whatever they be doing, juggling when they all this to make it seem like it's a DJ there. They're gonna create that illusion that why hire someone in the physical when you can get this program like Max the Head. Remember the Coca-Cola guy, Max the Head?
Max Headroom. Yeah.
They're creating something similar to that because they already putting it out there. They putting the fillers where they got the little cat with the little pretend like he's DJing. And if you ever, when people walk up to you, they be like, shoot it. They're already learning that motion right now. So in 5 years, we're going to be sharing our space with some AI image platform.
I mean, and we, I've said this before with another guest. We're already, into the AI as far as music, the algorithms.
Yes.
Like go to this artist track list or playlist, or this is made especially for you because the stuff you've been listening to, right? So it is part of it is already here.
Yeah, playlists are being curated right now, and a lot of DJs really rely on that. Them curated playlists.
Yeah, so and then because companies are making money off of that. Like,
yes,
there's some DJ services that's making money off of curated playlists, and
yes,
there's some DJs selling their playlists, right? So, but it can never replace the people in front of you. It can't.
You can't get this. There's not enough expertise, expenses that will ever mimic this right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I would not rely. I wouldn't even put myself in a leveling conversation with a program
mm-hmm.
that I work.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they take the technology part from the DJing, I can always go back to analog, I can go back to vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
I can go back to what got me here and being introduced to the future
mm-hmm.
of DJing.
Mm-hmm.
So, in a way, I have an advantage
mm-hmm.
I can go back there like this and be cool.
Mm. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
So with the process of AI, we got to talk about the instruments that DJs use. Of course, analog, but then came to digital, and so now.
Oh yeah.
Now, and I tell people it's like this. When we had TV, and then they came up with something called a Betamax, and that was cool, and then Betamax turned into, VHS, which turned into Laserdisc, and with the DVD and Blu-ray and all that stuff, and now everything is on your phone, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah. So the same thing with DJs, with the technology. How do you feel about the influx of the technology for DJs?
Well, Vader, to be honest, because this is me and your conversation, it's not the equipment, it's who's using the equipment.
That's true.
Whether you just got to change with technology. We went from the 8-track to cassette to turntables to controllers. And yes, I was on the fence when controllers came because taking 1200s, any DJ that came from that space, I was one of the last of the Mohicans to be like, man, I'm not gonna get no controller. But as I started to see the shift, I'm like, okay, not only am I leaving money on the table, I'm really torn that what I think is my skill set. I'm hindering myself to be better because of this equipment. So I had to embrace that portion of technology. Like, you know what? I could still get the same mission accomplished with this piece of equipment. And now that I have got that equipment, it has opened up a lot of options and opportunities for me. But if I was hard-headed, like, man, I'm still gonna lug my turntables around, blah, blah. I don't think I'll be in a great space of even having this conversation with you.
Right. Yeah,
to talk about
there's still some people out there that hardcore, and God bless them.
I know.
God bless they back.
We ain't even get into the physicality part of that, but yes.
So, as a collector of vinyl, what what do you say besides Heart, because that was your first, what was your other greatest find so far?
I'm one of the biggest Fleetwood Mac fans there is.
Really?
That is my all-time favorite group, and here's why. They my favorite group because all they songs is about their personal life. So when I'm DJing, I'm giving people I'm inviting you into my world.
Okay.
So when you see me out and you hear me DJing, when you hear them songs, you may catch me in the moment. That's the music doing that to me. That's the music. It's the rapture, as Anita Baker say, caught up in the rapture. But yes, Fleetwood Mac is, and what's so crazy, bro? They got this greatest hits album. It's funny. But it's not the same as the CD. It's some songs that didn't make the album that's on the CD.
So
I had to go buy. I had to go buy the Rumors album to get one song that was not placed on the greatest hits.
So the marketing worked.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Yeah,
Whoever came up with that, they saw me out there.
It was like, nah, we're not gonna put this as a hit.
But
record.
yeah, that's my favorite group. And yeah, and it's a group out right now. It's called Rumors.
Okay.
They the only group that Fleetwood Mac let them do a cover to all they songs. They sound like them.
Really?
They look like them. They on YouTube. I went to go see them at the Terra Theater when they came in Rumors.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Like
Check that out.
And Tears for Fears.
And Tears for Fears?
Smaller group.
All right, so we talked about Fleetwood Mac, we talked about Rumors, we talked about technology, all them things. So, how did you? Did you self-teach yourself? Did you teach yourself how to scratch, or was someone else involved in that?
Grandmaster DST.
Okay.
Herbie Hancock's DJ from Solid Gold. Watching him do it versus him in the video, because they had the little puppet in the video. But when I seen him do it on Solid Gold, I was like, what? And what's so crazy about it, I mimicked that scratch. I would listen to Rocket to do that. I'm like, wait a minute. And I did it with the record. The same Herbie Hancock Columbia Rocket record.
Okay. All right. Cool. And so from there, you was just hooked, huh?
Yeah, and that's crazy. That's funny you mentioned scratching. I used to get dinged, like, man, you scratching too much on the air.
I remember that. Yeah.
But I still do it. I still
do it.
I feel like that's my signature.
That is your signature.
That's my signature, is the whole scratching thing. Like, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do something with my fingers. I'm sorry. Like, I gotta do something with my fingers. It's not ADHD. I just gotta.
Gotta do something. I understand. I mean, since you've been doing it for so long, for you to stop would be like, well, who is that?
I even tried to cut back, and I felt like, nah, I don't even know what's too much, because I do it all the time.
True.
So
Facts.
there it is.
So, you know, for the record, you should know that we are both on the same radio station, right? Matter of fact, we got the Weekend Tag Team, which is, I don't know, it's been so many years that we've been doing this. So the Friday Night Boombox A-side, DJ Diamond, and the Saturday Night Boombox B-side is me. So it's a tag team. So we've been in each other's aura for many, many years, even decades at this point. So if you didn't know that's a nugget for you. So
he's my favorite. Like, I mean, he came over to the Tiny Island DJ. That's amazing. But it's pointless to resist. And it's funny because your following, they say that, like, when you do things, I'll follow him on social media, and I say, it's pointless to resist. So, funny thing is, so I got a moniker. I came up with the musical sermon. So, excuse me. I think all DJs, should have something besides they name that's relatable to their name, like a tagline. Mm-hmm. Like I come up with the musical DJ Diamond, aka the musical sermon.
Yeah, and that's your signature.
And that is, and it's what's so funny with that, Vader, is I'm having a conversation with the congregation.
Yep.
To the people out there. The only thing I don't have is a pool pit, but the booth is my pool pit.
Look at you. You better preach.
Yeah, I will. And since I don't really, I don't talk on the mic as much because I speak with my hands. So the music is the sermon, and the people is the congregation, and it's just a conversation with the congregation. So that's been my tagline. I don't even know how I came up with that. It was just, I just needed rebranding.
Yeah.
I think, every 3 to 5 years, DJs should do some self-evaluation with themselves.
They should, but most won't. Most won't, and because they get comfortable.
And that becomes complacent.
Yeah. We both know people that should not be in the same spots that they were in 10 and 20 years ago, but they're comfortable.
And the reason why growth is it's within you.
You are absolutely right. It is.
And from the DJ community, they have to. It's important. It's imperative that when you see your peers doing other things, it's because they playing other music to other people.
Yeah, that part.
You cannot have inbox mentality trying to think outside that box.
Yeah.
Because I will really tap you on your shoulder and tell you I think outside the box you live in, because it's a whole nother secular people out there that you should tap into to grow.
Yeah.
Because you are a brand. You are a brand. The moment you put your name on anything outside of a check, and I'm talking about your entertainment, when people are like, oh, that's DJ Diamond versus Derek. That's the brand versus the man. Do I have a fight with that? Of course. Because people can associate DJ Diamond versus Derek, because when they see me, I was introduced to them as DJ Diamond.
Right. So
when they see me out and about, I have to immediately figure out who they're referencing to. So that's how I respond. I'm going to respond from a DJ Diamond perspective versus a Derek perspective. So
I definitely feel that.
But DJs, they definitely have to grow. They have to grow. You can't be a freshman forever.
You cannot. Time will let you know that you're no longer a freshman.
You can't be a freshman. And social media now the climate of social media now with DJs, everybody's a DJ.
Yeah.
Everybody is a DJ, and disc jockey, everybody's a DJ, because technology has made it so accessible for them to become that. And now that they have become that, they want to align themselves with folks that really been grassrooted from the culture.
Gotcha.
And what I mean by that, I find myself having to talk with it like, you are a fan of the culture that I'm a part of. Because and when I say we, I'm speaking to you and all 10 plus years guys because we seen this culture of ours that started at this point and come a whole circle. And we don't even see half the DJs as cresting this part right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and when I say technology has made it easy, because a person can go out buy a controller, they can go buy someone's hard drive, they can subscribe to a record pool, and bang, here they are. If not in the same room as us, but they probably talk to some people that can put them in the same room as us. And now here's where it's the age bracket comes in, the experience comes in.
Yeah.
And it could be a teachable moment, or it could just be a long day.
It could be a very long day, buddy. It could be a very long day.
So
I tried to give someone a teachable moment one time, and they said, I got this.
You know how many times I heard that, but go ahead.
I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So, sat back, sipped on a little something, and watched the train wreck happen.
Oh, the crash and burn will definitely take place, because what's funny with that, I saw something online with the opener and closing DJ. Hopefully, I don't want to feel like I'm jumping ahead of this conversation.
No, this is we talking, Jack.
It was the opener versus the closing DJ. What should one do? Now, the answer to me was this. I am the opener and the closer because I come from the 4-hour space of work, not 2 hours. If I'm the opener, you're going to get the 4 hours of me. If I'm the closer, you're still going to get the same. But what you can't do and what I won't do is let you put a cap on my creativity. You're not going to dictate my playlist because these people is here to be entertained. They don't care about who's the opener, who's the closer. If you got to rely on banger, 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 then maybe you should be a mixtape DJ. Because every song wasn't a banger. We just made it accessible to these people out here. It's a lot of songs that, and I'm speaking from a radio perspective now, it's a lot of songs that never charted, but it's a banger, in the outside world. So if you got to rely on playing a banger after banger after banger after banger, man, it's going to be a long night when you align yourself with someone that's well conditioned to play.
Yeah.
So and I just found that, and they had a real long conversation about it. I'm looking like, dude, y'all spending 45 minutes over a 5-minute conversation. No, I'm not gonna dummy down my talent because we're both on the same car, giving the same experience we want these people to walk away with. And I tell them, like, listen, the only thing me and you will ever have in common is DJ in front of our name, because we both bring something to this table, to this culture, that we feed off on. If you're a DJ and you're getting paid to DJ, you was part of this culture. So why would you put yourself in a position where someone would trick you out of your position?
It happens all the time.
I mean, like, it's a wild moment. Like, and I sat there and I literally listened. I'm mad that I gave it 45 minutes of my attention. But
I mean, it happens. Sometimes you get caught up in the, because every day is some type of DJ, something online, and you can go down a rabbit hole and lose a lot of minutes of your life. Just like, why did I waste my time on that?
And it's freedom of speech, it's people's opinion, but it was, I just love this culture. I love this culture. It has got me through a lot of pain and pleasure. And that's it. That's my end all to be all.
Well, good. Good, and for that we salute you on being that and loving the culture. Speaking of DJs and topics and things and longevity, you don't see many DJ battles anymore.
Let's pull
up. So today's bourbon is brought to you by Bardstown Bourbon Company. It's the Origin Series. Now, you know, Bardstown puts out a high quality product for a great price. Like, and since have you ever had any?
I never have this this series, but I do have Bardstown in my collection, and they, whew.
Yeah. So they have like an experimental experience, and they also have the Origins. So this one, the Origins, is becoming a favorite of mine, right? And once you taste it, it kind of rivals nothing you've had before, right? It's not a hot sip. I think it only comes in at 100 proof. So, but it's a great taste. So, there you go, sir. Go ahead and pour up.
Oh, you can smell it. Oh.
Yeah, and a nice pop when you pop the cork.
Man, this is a nice sipper.
Let me tell you something. That's what we do here on Beats and Bourbon.
Oh my goodness, brother, my man, you can. All these. You need a drop of water, but no, let me see.
Salute.
Salute. You said it's 97?
It's 100 proof.
Oh, 100?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you mentioned price. It's affordable?
Yeah, I think that is like 40, 44, something like that, 46. It's not a high price point at all. Like, and that's what makes it great. I think it's better than, you know, the bourbons that's in that price range, like the Woodfords and things like that.
Well, the Bardstown I have at home, and that's funny that we even talking about our what's in our collection. I've been cracking open a lot of bottles.
Look, let me tell you something, man. You can't take it with you.
I can't take it with me.
You can't take it with you. We had this discussion a couple years back.
Yeah, I know.
And you know, I met up with some brothers that's, bourbon connoisseurs. They may bring you something that you'll never ever see again in life and have. And they said, look, how you gonna know if you like it if you don't pop it open?
Yeah, it's not a trophy it's not a trophy no more. The trophy is when you bought it.
Yeah, the trophy is when you bought it, and you know you might take a picture of it on the shelf, but you know the real thing is real spit. If I would have never known that I liked this had I not cracked it. And then when I cracked it, I was like, well, I got to get another one, right? So, like, we all have, or for those people that collect bourbons, you may have a few bottles on your shelf that you never even tried, but you're just doing it because everybody else is getting it, right? And life is short, brother. Take it from me.
Yeah,
it is short, and celebrate life and crack them bottles.
That's right. Let's drink to that, bro. We gotta. If you're a connoisseur out there, and you got all them bottles behind you, you have to have a level or something like this or something down there.
That part.
Or invite me over. I'll help you drink some of it.
Likewise. So, tell me what got you into bourbon?
Well, I come from the cognac world, and I was
Same.
at
Many years ago.
Hennessy, Douce, and Hennessy Privilege.
Hennessy Privilege, yes.
I know your father was a man of that.
Man, he was. God rest his soul.
Yeah. You know, we
Yeah.
we speak on that how we speak on that.
Mm-hmm.
What got me into it, I was at a bar,
Mm-hmm.
and I was with my best friend Alvin, who was at a bar, and they didn't have Hennessy. They didn't serve Hennessy at the bar I was at.
Okay.
And they had Knob Creek and they had Maker's Smart.
Okay.
And the guy sitting next to me, he said, man, I'm gonna buy everybody around.
Mm.
And he was like, what you drinking? I said, well, they don't have what I drink here. I say, but you know, you the buyer's choice.
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, I drink bourbon. I said, well, I never had that. He said, well, start you off with something light. We're gonna do this Knob Creek. Told the bartender to pour it up.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first tasted it, I was like, oh my God. He said, my friend is having a bourbon tasting
Mm-hmm.
in a couple of weeks. He said, you're a cool guy. He said, man, I like your vibe, I like your energy. He said, man, I want to invite you to it. I ain't paying no mind, man. I just thought dude was just having a bar conversation, man. He called me.
Okay.
He sent me the address. He said, man, pull up. I did.
Mm-hmm.
We get to this guy's house, his friend's house. Vader, this guy had a whole liquor store in his house. He said, we're gonna do a flight. We'll do a bourbon flight, that's what they say. He said, y'all get y'all a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna drink later. But I got these new bourbons in, and I want to share with my friends. He said, that's what bourbon's about.
Right. Right.
Celebrating with your closest friends.
Yeah.
And he said, I consider everybody in this room my closest friend. So they lined it up, and one particular bottle that stuck out because I was so green, and I'm gonna get into the whole green part, was Weller Special Reserve, was a green bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So I started collecting, and people was like, yo, you gotta get, you know, the common E.H. Taylor, Weller, Blanton's, and Eagle Rare.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. This is what people telling me I gotta go get.
Mm-hmm.
So I made appointments to the Bourbon Trail. I go to the store, I stood in line. And then once the pandemic came, that's when I started reading up on bourbon.
Yeah.
So I just started buying bottles,
Mm-hmm.
training my palate, And I ain't looked back. I haven't looked back. This is bourbon, honestly, it kisses the tears inside my eyes.
Look at that. That's a quote right there, Jack.
Yeah, that's from Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
Yeah, from music. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It does. It's the same way with DJing, and when you came up with the whole thing, bourbons and beats, and I'm like, this is right up my alley because I love music and I love bourbon, and one would never outweigh the other.
Yeah.
Because when I can't think of something, I'm like, this is my spinach.
I definitely understand that.
This is my spinach. Well, what got you into it?
So, like yourself, I was a cognac person, right? Now, I didn't drink Hennessy. That wasn't my jam. My jam was Martell. Like,
Oh,
yeah. So, shout out to the stuff we used to drink when we ain't had no money, right? And I'm not gonna name the liquors, but anybody that's watching this, they know. Like, it resonates with you because everybody go through a phase.
yes.
Some people don't come out that phase, but everybody go through a phase where it's like, hey, this is what I got, and this is what I'm getting, right?
Right.
We're gonna make it work.
Yes. Yes.
So Martell was my jam, man. Like, and that was good until I think somebody overseas in Asia or something really liked Martell to the point where they bought all the barrels or something like that. And so the company tried to, put out another product, but it wasn't good.
Okay.
Right? And so at that time, I had another partner that was on the fire department. He was like, man, you don't need to be drinking that. Go and drink this bourbon. And so he gave me a sip of what is, it was E.H. Teller. I was like, it's all right. He's like, you know how much this is? I said, it's all right. He said, your palate ain't there. You still got a cognac palate.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was into cigars at the time. So, and then the cats at the cigar meetups would be like having all types of bourbon. And so I just kind of got into it from there. And I would get bottles here and there, but I wasn't a huge collector, right? Because I would crack mine. Once I started finding out and reading up, just like yourself, on the rabbit hole of bourbon, then I was like, okay, well, now I'm getting these with a purpose. I know that I'm going to the store to get this. Or, let me look this up and see what people say about it.
Yes.
And then, because your palate changes. And
yes.
just like the people that smoke cigars, your palate changes. Like 1 month, it may be something on a little harsher side, but that's what you're tolerating. The next month, it may not be, right?
Right.
I know cats that will drink stuff that's 120, 130, 150 proof, and this is like drinking water to them.
Yes.
And I'm like, nah, I'll try it, but that ain't my jam, right? So your palate changes, your taste changes, but it was a coworker that actually got me into bourbon, told me to get off that cognac trail. He's like, you'll be just like your daddy drinking that Hennessy. I said, no, sir. But it was never really my thing, right? Like I said, Martell was my thing. Before that, I think it was like Mew Cow. That I don't even think I could. Yeah, that's the stuff where you could. Yeah, shout out to Mew Cow. The big black cat on the cognac bottle looked like your first living room table, your first coffee table, because everybody had the coffee table with the Black Panther with the glass on top of it. So. So yeah, I'm proud of my taste buds that evolved up to this point, right?
Right.
I like, a sip of bourbon, a conversation, and laughter, because like I said, life is short, man.
It is, and I think the older we get, the more these precious times mean a lot to us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even about a DJ perspective. It's just picking up the phone or sending a text, because we losing a lot of close friends.
Yeah.
Or some of our celebrity heroes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it just puts you in a mind space like, damn, why ain't check up on Buddy?
Yeah.
I made a post on social media a while back. Stop using social media as a wellness check.
Yeah.
Because, for one, social media clock is not as accurate as the clock on your wrist.
Yeah.
They may not see that till the next day.
If they wake up, if they're blessed enough to wake up to see it.
Yeah. But a text message or a phone call, say, hey man, I ain't want much, just checking on you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even understand the joy that brings to someone.
Yeah.
Because the climate of today,
mm-hmm.
man, we all gotta be each other's light.
Yeah.
We have to be each other's light in this world of darkness, because it's wild. So, moments like this,
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go home tonight and be like, this was worth every bit of me sitting down.
Well,
not only am I sharing what makes DJ Diamond and Derek to DJ Vader and to your audience, it's just, this is me, period.
Mm-hmm.
This is me, period. Me being behind a DJ booth, I'm just up there for 4 hours or however long. But this is all of me. Like, I tasted my own blood. I've been hit in the mouth. I've been, and I also did this too. Keep my feet up and relax.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on both sides of the spectrum
Mm-hmm.
of this world and this DJ culture.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm here with you, enjoying our pleasant principles.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing, with Beats and Bourbon. I want DJs that appreciate both just to tell their story. Because when we long gone, one thing we got is our story that we left behind.
Yes.
And I don't ever want it to be, not to say that we had the media for our parents or our grandparents, to leave that,
Right.
other than memories. I just wanted to make sure that we got something on record to talk about that.
Oh man, I know your brain is right. Let's talk, man. Let's get to the Willie Bowl. Let's talk.
All right.
Let's converse.
So, you said let's talk. When you say that, what do you mean? What we getting into?
Whatever. Let's go. But it's not this. It's not the influence of the bourbon. It's really let's talk. Let's converse. I got your number, but let's do it in person, man. This is when you reached out to me. I told my old lady, oh yeah, this is the one. Let's chop it up. Oh man, this is delicious.
What is your assessment of Cincinnati DJs right now?
We have the. Please do not take this the wrong way. We have the best group of talent DJs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's not a room you could put us in that we can't play. It may take us 10, maybe a half an hour for us to figure it out. But once we lock in, that infrared, it's on. And it's funny that because people will hear us and be like, "You from Cincinnati?"
Exactly. From the tiny island of Cincinnati.
And so we have the best pool of DJs. In every city, in every state, should feel the same way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
They should put, that's their stake in the ground. But here in Cincinnati, when you come here, be open ears, because you're gonna hear some stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we don't sound alike. None of us don't sound alike.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually mix records. We actually mix one song to the next.
I remember the early days of being on Twitch during the pandemic. And people was asking, like, well, where are you from?
And shouts out to you for you really put the city in that whole Twitch space.
Well, the thing is, and as you know, during the pandemic, we just was getting kicked off of everything. So when a partner of mine, DJ Rich Nice, who was based out of Columbus, he said, man, I found this platform called Twitch. He's like, mostly gamers, but I see a couple DJs on there. They're not getting kicked off. I was like, all right, go over there, and it's a whole nother world, right? So now you got access to people from across the world, and they ask you, like, where are you from? I'm from Cincinnati. Ohio?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah.
Right?
And they don't understand that this is the land of the funk.
Yeah. And so, you know, you start there, you build up your people and your platform, your channel, and you know, out comes the whole. I'm from the tiny island of Cincinnati, right? And I tell anybody, I will put Cincinnati on my back and talk about you in places that you ain't even heard of Cincinnati, right? Because we love our city.
Of course.
We love music. I've even had people say, oh, well, you a radio DJ that blends, that mixes. I say, yeah, we all do. Like, that's what we do here, right? And so for that, you know, that's why I want to have things like Beats and Bourbon and stereo and things like that to showcase the talent that we have. The talent is fucking big. It's huge, right? And when we step away from it and go off to our next thing and, you know, want to make sure it's left in good hands. But y'all gonna know our story.
They have no. I think you can't be naive to the fact that once you hear, and maybe the folks here, I mean, they are spoiled because they have that access to us.
Yes.
At any given point, they can always. That's Diamond. That's Vader. Mm-hmm. There's Mic Drop. There's Ballard. It's a ton of DJs that's in a Rolodex where they can get entertainment from, and they are definitely spoiled by it. But we are the reason why they are spoiled by that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when they travel outside of the 275 loop and they go elsewhere, I want them to always compare us to the talent that they run into out there. So they be like, man, I can't wait to get back home because this wasn't that. and that lets me know that I'm doing a good job, and my goal is to do a great job. So
I'm gonna talk about a concert that we did together here recently. Now, we've done some concerts together over the years, and they've been epic. But this one right here, it was a Bone Thugs and Harmony concert, and they touted it as DJ Vader versus DJ Diamond, and you know, and it was on. Like, we was gonna have a great time, man. And I remember the day. It was a really cold day. It was even snowing. As we pull up to the venue, I'm talking about an arena. It's snowing.
Yes.
And we just pretty much like, ain't nobody gonna be here. Ain't nobody gonna be here. The doors opened at 7 and it got packed. And it was and it was not the audience that we thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, we really had to reformat our set list.
On the dime, like right now.
It was literally, I ain't gonna, mine was 95% freestyle. Cause the audience came in and I'm looking like, what the? I said, what the fuck? And then you look, and I'm like, I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna set the tone. But then when you went on, I was like, oh my God. You did a blend. You did I'm Different when I think it was Sweet Home Alabama.
Yes.
It was another one of them, why I ain't think of that blend moment. But you also did another blend on Twitch. I think it was LL Cool J and 702 I Still Love You. I think it was that.
Yeah.
And I flipped it. I did 702 When I See You. But that's the thing. DJs have to inspire.
Yeah,
still sharp
absolutely.
and still.
Still sharp and still.
Yeah. I always and I'd rather be influenced by my air lights versus a stranger.
Yeah.
Because I can't give that person the kind of credits that I will give one of my own. Because it would be really from a genuine space. Not that it wouldn't be a genuine space I'd be coming from if it was a total stranger, but I can tell you why and how, because even though I always big myself up to a level, but I'm humble enough to understand that you got to be inspired by something, and I'll let that be known that your level of creativity inspired me to take that and up it a notch. Hopefully someone would catch that same, picking up what I'm putting down, because it's always good to be someone's influence.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And when you did that, I was like, okay.
Let me tell you, this dude picked up the controller.
He's talking about Stereo 24.
I seen this dude pick it up and scratching and looking away and smiling at the crowd. Like, the level of creativity is phenomenal.
And I thought of that right there on the spot. It was the next episode, Hold Up.
Yeah.
And what's so crazy, I was funny, when it was my turn to go on, I looked at the measurement. I say, nah, I can't do it with a turntable because I don't know how long the wires is. I say, but with a controller, I say, yeah, I got some room. And I always travel with a long USB. I always travel with one. I don't know why, but I just do it.
Okay.
And when it got to the Hold Up, I said, you know what? I'm gonna pick it up. And then I looked, I was like, hold up. And I tilted it. I said, oh, I got it. I got it. I was like, hold up. And I scratched. And I was like, damn, Rev 7 is light. Like, this was all in my mind during my set.
Yeah.
Like, this was literally on the fly. Like, none of this was planned. And my girl was like, you picked it up. I say, how high did I pick it up?
You picked it up.
She said it was up there.
Yeah.
And then she showed me the video. I said, damn, I picked it up for real.
Yeah, you picked it up.
And then I was bringing it back down, which was funny. But that was...
I was like, word? Did he just... I said, all right.
That was funny too. In my set again, when the system went out, I had to redirect my set because my the vibe was killed, and that was, I think all DJs gotta have that reset button.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I tell cats when they getting into it, you should know 3 to 5 songs ahead what you gonna play.
Preach.
Because it's not always the Tamiya or the wobble. It's the song right after.
Speaking of line dance, where are you with that?
So I hate line dancing with a passion. And here's why.
Okay.
I'm from an era of, I'm gonna make you dance. You gonna dance. And we gonna make you sweat and have a great time. And somewhere along the lines, people stop thinking that they can actually dance. So I get in our origins and our DNA as Africans is dancing in sync. Like, I get that. Like, and it looks great, right?
Right.
But line dance serves its purpose, but I don't like it. Now, I'll play it because I'm never gonna be that selfish DJ that's like, I ain't playing that.
Right.
You know, the DJing is customer service.
Of course it is.
DJing is customer service. And so, but primarily I don't like it. It looks great, but the real challenge becomes what you're playing before, what you're playing after. Right? Now, I'm not a line dance DJ.
No.
There's people that's out there that make a living off of this stuff. It's not me, right? Nor do I ever want it to be me.
Right.
Right. But I want to get to the point where I'm about to sweat your weave out. but the line dance is a necessary evil in my head. Now, Cincinnati has been blessed enough to not be invaded by line dancers. And here, I'll tell you a story. One time I went up to Cleveland to see one of my cats up there. He was DJing on the radio. He DJ'd on the radio station, and it was Sam Silk. Sam Silk had his show with us, right? And then he had a remote at the casino. I was in Cleveland. I said, well, let me check him out. He said, come on, pull on up on me. I get there, it's packed. It's packed. But man, it's a line dance to every song known to man. The DJs would speed up the tempo, they got a line dance for it. DJs slow down the tempo, they got a line dance to it, right? And I'm talking down from and everything else had a line dance. And I said, is that how it goes here? He said, yeah. Mm-hmm. I said, it's not like that in Cincinnati. He said, what do you mean? I said, they dance, they party, they kick it, they sweat. And it's minimal line dance. It's the stuff that's like the popular stuff, yes. But it's not like that. He was like, man, I wish that was in Cincinnati. And when I talked to the DJs, they were like, it's frustrating because we want to get our rocks off. We want to get our rocks off. And it's not like that anymore.
Damn.
And so I told them that down where I'm from, it ain't touched us yet. But now I'm seeing the transition of where we were playing, the popular stuff is going to work. But now is the line dancing with the Southern soul and everything is starting to get that way. And seeing that transition is like, uh-oh. Because I remember playing, it was some song, and they just automatically started line dancing to it.
Was it Midnight Star Curious?
Yeah. I think that's one. Of course, you got the boots on the ground now and stuff. And I'm not
sorry,
saying,
y'all. I'm sorry.
Like it's not that we don't like the songs. It's when you hire us to DJ, we're there to do something phenomenal that you hired us to do, right?
Right.
Like, you want us to reenact our legendary status. You want to walk away from that.
It's got to be complimentary on both sides.
Yeah.
It has to be. And I think this is where that you tap into that level of creativity again. And yes, the Southern Soul, rest in peace, my man DJ Smooth. He told me it was coming. He said, he was like, man, you got to get on this Southern Soul. It's coming. And I'm like, all right. I said, you know what? I cross that bridge when I come to it. Uh-huh. Well, here we are at this bridge.
Yeah.
And TikTok and the fan.
Yeah.
The boots on the ground.
And make sure your fan work.
Make sure.
Now I saw it. I just recently DJ'd a gig, and somebody had a fan that wasn't up to par, and it said plat, and it tore. The first plat. Now he didn't even make it to the fourth plat. It was a he, and it was like plat, and then now you stuck looking at the fan, and you done missed all the other plaques. So make sure your fan is of somewhat quality. And if those that don't, if you see this years later, we're talking about Boots on the Ground. It's a song that they created a line dance to, and somebody had the bright idea to have a fan because he says, where them fans
is at?
Cool, right? But make sure your fan is not from the dollar store, because
it's gonna show in the performance.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Boots on the Ground, that song, to some is old, to some is new.
Yeah.
And Cincinnati folks, sometimes we can be behind the 8 ball, sometimes we can be ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
But DJs, be creative with the song. Just don't. You got stems now.
So speaking of which, so stems. So for those people that mix and blend, it wasn't really that big of a like it helped us like take away some of the background noise of something that we was already mixing and blending.
Yeah.
So we're both outside DJs and we're both radio DJs, and we mix and blend all the time.
Yes.
So it was like, okay, cool. But then like people ran with it, and there was a short while, it was kind of bewildering to me because it was a short while where there was a backlash against stems. I started noticing like, you know, like it was stem challenges and things like that, and other DJs like, using stems, that's cheating. I'm like, well, if you mix and blend already, the thing you're doing is just taking out.
If you don't, and I was on both sides of the campaign.
Okay.
Because I come from the blend world.
Yeah.
And when I mean blend, I'm talking taking the acapella.
Yep.
And putting it with a different beat. Stems is giving you the same tools as if you was the producer. Mm-hmm. Now, hold on to that piece, because here's where the experience part kicks in at. Mm-hmm. When you blend in, you taking somebody else's body of work, mm-hmm. and you putting your own identity on that.
Putting your spin on it, right?
You got to either compliment it or compliment it. Don't insult somebody else's work.
Right.
Because it's going to show. Mm-hmm. All Stems is doing is either going to expose your talent or it's going to expose your mishaps.
Yeah, I've heard some great.
And if you're not, and if you're not from
stuff.
the blending world,
mm-hmm.
or community or whatever platform you associate yourself with, just don't hit default. It's an option that's not for you.
Right.
Because you're going to do the audience a disservice. Because it's going to sound crazy. And if you on a real big system, mm-hmm. It's going
to sound. Yeah.
If it sounds crazy in your headphones, just imagine how it sounds coming out those speakers.
Yeah.
So my advice to you, do not use practice during performance.
No, you should.
So if you want to learn stems, learn how to blend. Mm-hmm. Take one song and mix it to the other, because that's what you're doing. Stems is just showing you all the pieces that made that song it. The drums, the vocals, the chord, and whatever other parts in it. Now, it do sound robotic because Serato hasn't tapped into that algorithm to smooth it out.
Yeah.
But you got to do your own homework and find other stems applications, or find the original. See, me, I come from the vinyl world, so I have a lot of acapellas. Mm-hmm. That's from the record. Mm-hmm. So it makes it that much easier for me to execute. I'm big on blending. Mm-hmm. I'm glad it's back. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, it should have never went nowhere. Yeah. But now that it's here, let's start putting our own spin to these songs and make, when people hear the original, I want them to think, man, Diamond flipped that. Mm-hmm. Or Vader flipped that. That's an impact.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. So with the stem button, let's go back a couple years and talk about the sync button.
Oh, okay, let's get into it.
So, there was a backlash about controllers coming out with the sync programming, meaning that, for those people that don't know, you hit the sync button, it makes it easier to mash the two songs together.
Yes.
Right? And, I never used it because we mix and blend, right? It's there for people who need it, right? It doesn't affect my pockets.
No, one way or the other.
One way or another. Like, if that's what you need, that's fine, yes. Right? But at some point, like you said, learn to mix and blend on your own. Learn keys. Mix in key.
Serato has all the tools for you to execute your job properly.
Yeah.
It tells you the key. If it don't tells you the key in on your profile where your song list is, it tells you when you load it up on there. The key signature is there. And if you don't know your key signature, just look up mixing key. It'll show you a chart.
Yeah.
Learn, but you gotta, honestly, it's an ear.
It is. You gotta have an ear for it.
You gotta have an ear. And nowadays it's popularity over passion.
Yeah, I see that.
Because you have the TikTok influencers, you know, and you have really DJs that's just in it because they can make a few dollars out of it.
Speaking of which, is my next thing. DJs making a few dollars. It's like this in every city. DJs are getting paid nothing just to be on the platform to DJ in front of people. And it's not to shit on any DJ that's doing it.
Right.
But you shouldn't be doing it. Right.
Let's address it because I think it would be impactful to the youth and to some of the veterans to hear that comes from if they hear it come from us, it may resonate a little bit better. And when I say 150 to 200 to 250, that's not no money.
No.
That's not no money, not for 4 hours, and you bring in everything to the table.
Yeah.
Not saying you disservicing yourself or you don't have no value, but Jordan's is $220 plus tax.
Right.
So even if you do a gig under Jordan money, you gotta put something with it to get some Jordans. So you gotta factor.
Yeah, your time. You gotta factor what your worth is. And it's not to say that I've never been in that situation as a younger DJ. Absolutely. Now we all started off at that, but your start can't be your end. Your start can't be your end.
It can't be. You have to. And if somebody don't want to pay you what you want, it's someone that will. You got to condition yourself to accept a yes, just like you accept a no. You can't be available and affordable. You got to be one of the two.
Yeah.
You can't straddle the fence. You can't, because if you start doing that, and I'm not saying all DJs need to band together, but we should band together because I can't go to a store. Like, I don't want to pay $44 for this.
Yeah.
I got $38.
They be like, well, you better put some more money with it.
With that, or I can go down the street. That's cool. You get what you pay for. That's the same way in the DJ world. Mm-hmm. You want the best, you got to pay for it. Look at your establishment. You want the best clientele, well, you need the best talent for your clientele. Mm-hmm. The same thing with the promoters. The DJs, we are the promoters. But here's where the rubber meets the road.
Okay.
If I'm working with a promoter, I'm going to tell him or her, your job is to bring them in. My job is to keep them.
Yep.
You bring them in, but if I bring them in,
that's something different.
And I keep them,
that's something different. And that is another pay scale.
And for one, I'm not going to argue about no money.
Right. That part.
Because I can, what you say, bet on myself.
Bet on yourself. Bet on yourself. And I'm glad that you said that because it leads us to this thing where, why do you think DJs are scared to bet on themselves?
Because they, some, I ain't gonna say some, a lot can't take an L.
You mean like can't afford to take an L?
No, they can't take an L. It's not afford. They can't take an L.
They just can't take an L. Got you.
It especially if you goal orientated. Mm-hmm. Don't let your pride jump out in front of you. You gotta. It's been plenty of times where I play to an empty room.
Mm-hmm.
Lesson taught, lesson learned.
Mm-hmm.
However you want to slice the pie. But I threw an event, nobody ain't come. It's cool. I take that and I figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I figure it out. It could have been anything.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been the venue.
Yeah.
People are like, man, I rock with you, but I don't rock with that venue. It could be a number of things. It could be the weather. It could be something else was going on at the time.
Yeah.
It's not saying that you are a bad DJ. And, you know, everybody has a following, especially in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Our city is so small. It's easy for them to go from one spot to the next.
Mm-hmm.
But if they done had an experience at one spot and you DJing in that one spot, a lot of DJs are just comfortable and not, I mean, because I was on that side of the fence, Vader. I came from the, why should I throw my own event?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm booked. I'm booked and busy.
Mm-hmm.
But when I jumped out and I threw my own events and I saw the benefits from that,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm paying people
Mm-hmm.
and I'm also receiving on the other end too. But at the end of the day, I gave everybody my experience. I gave them something to come back to. Now I can scale it out. 60 days.
Mm-hmm.
I can scale it out. I can make them say, did you miss me?
Mm-hmm.
Or what is the next one? That's the greatest. That's the greatest paycheck.
That is.
That's the greatest paycheck any DJ can get when they throw their own event. When people say, what is the next one?
Yeah.
Or you see the feedback online like, I had a good time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just like when people walk up to you like, you got a business card?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's just.
Absolutely. So, you know, one of the other things that makes a DJ, like we've been talking about this all show, is your branding.
Yes.
Right? You have to protect your brand, because especially if you are in one aspect of the DJ world, if you are just like, I'm going to do this bar and that's the only thing I want to do, well, I mean, that's one thing. But you always have to protect your brand. If you don't protect your brand, then that affects your pockets.
Yeah, and I was on both sides of that,
Mm-hmm.
that spectrum as well. And I'm glad you touched on that, because I want to, share to people how I reintroduce
Mm-hmm.
myself, because when you online on social media,
Mm-hmm.
people think that's who you are in real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though your name is DJ whatever,
Mm-hmm.
they think that's you in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So your brand is your bread.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So I had to do a whole reintroduction because of a conversation I had online with someone, and someone called me and told me like, man, take that down, and everybody may not like the post.
Mm-hmm.
They may not even comment. But if your page is listed public,
They watching it.
they see it. They may
Mm-hmm.
not compliment, and you don't even know who they know that can be like, I want to use you. I want to use your service, but I seen something online, and I don't think that's we can associate ourselves with that.
Yeah.
If they say that to you, take 10 people at that table. 10 people have already got an impression about you just from one person.
Yep. Exactly. You have to protect your brand.
Yes. So when they see you doing other things, my solution to that problem was this. I started posting everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because now they can speak in my defense.
Mm-hmm.
They can speak about me in rooms that I cannot defend myself in.
Let me tell you something. I will go on record and say this. When you started the musical sermon and you started rebranding yourself, because I seen that. Like me, I am one that, like, I love brands. Like I have reinvented myself a million times, right? Because I want to protect my brand, right? There's a lot of stuff I've turned down because it doesn't align with my brand, right? But when I seen that it finally clicked and you started putting out stuff, musical sermon, this is what I've done. Yeah, it's not what you thought it would be. This is what I'm doing now.
Now, yes.
And it started changing your
Everybody's
whole rotation.
narrative.
Yeah.
The whole DJ Diamond thing, it was DJ Diamond of the Wiz, DJ Diamond from the Wiz. Vader, it was a battle there.
I saw it.
A lot of entities were not using my service because they thought I was going to bring my radio element inside their spaces. As I was saying, a lot of places wouldn't book DJ Diamond because they was worried about the music versus their clientele. Cool, that's fine. I get it. But the thing with me was, the moment you show me where you at, now, okay, cool, I get it. And that's where it comes with the brand versus your bread. I get there. But at the same time, I can't stop being DJ Diamond.
Right.
Because of certain doors was being closed in my face.
Yeah.
But the solution to the problem was this. Let me come up with something where they compare the two.
Gotcha.
That's where the musical sermon came, because you're gonna be like, okay, he's on the radio, but he don't play that. Understand how that works in my favor, and I'm still doing what I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
What I want to do. Was it hard in the beginning? No, absolutely not. It was not hard because it was me. I put myself in a position to say yes and no.
Gotcha.
It took some years to get to that level of comfortability to where I could say yes to this, no to that. Or, like you say, my brand is my brand. All money ain't good money.
Speak.
Because people were like, man, you did it for the dollar. You did it for the dollar. Now you gotta have a whole conversation with someone that you've been preaching to about this, that, and the third over your craftsmanship versus a dollar. If you make yourself available in that space, you're vulnerable to be something else elsewhere. Damn that.
Preach.
Damn that. So, coming full circle with the musical sermon, and that's what people see the most, and it's catchy. People walk up to me, what is a musical sermon? When I tell them what it is, and then it's from, the font is from Star Wars, which is the greatest movie of my childhood. Why? Because my mother used to work at the Kenner building.
Oh, my mom worked there too at one point. Yeah.
And I still obtain some of the original pieces.
Nice.
So at the end of the day, like, everything about me has some connection to something that's important. My origins is from a lot of things because I'm a lot of things. My headspace is like, it's not a juggernaut, it's not a, you can't piece my mind together like a puzzle. To love me is to learn me. Find out what's the thing that makes me smile, not laugh. Them totally different, them two different things. Music makes me laugh because I'm in my comfort zone. is my comedian.
Right.
DJing is like Vader is the North Star.
Yeah.
You know, the North Star is the brightest star, and that's what DJing is.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what's crazy about that, bro? Every time I DJ, I say a prayer.
I feel you on that one.
Before I press play, I say a prayer. People be talking to me, and I hit them with the church finger.
Ha! Yeah, because you got to.
And that's...
Matter of fact, I've seen you do that. We did a concert at the Brady Center.
Mm-hmm. John B, to be exact.
Yeah. And I remember somebody coming up to you and you did this. And in that moment, I was like, okay, well, maybe he's trying to get the music together. But now I know, okay, dope.
Yeah, that was, because I got to give thanks to someone that blessed me with something.
Yeah.
I think it's a talent. I think DJing is a talent. Because our lives is their entertainment.
That is true.
Our lives
That is
definitely their entertainment.
That is true.
And to bring it all home, first I want to thank you.
Me?
For allowing me to let people into my world of minds.
I would never have it any other way.
I appreciate that.
Right. What I want is that when I'm no longer here, I owe it to the aces and everybody else that left before us, right? Because their story never got told.
No, and I'm glad you mentioned that. It's two DJs in this city that that will make me think twice about my set. It's Perry Simmons and DJ Ace.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those are two DJs that music-wise I'd be like, in Lincoln Ware.
Mm-hmm.
That man, when I got the mix on Lincoln Ware's show,
mm-hmm.
First off, when he asked me,
mm-hmm.
It was honorable. It was honorable.
The man been in radio for 50 plus years.
And Judy Jones, DJ Skills,
mm-hmm.
DJ Eminem, Jamar, and Drew. Those are the people that's responsible for DJ Diamond. Those are the people that are responsible for whatever people say about my legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And when I hear the word, legend, legendary, I'm like, I'm still living. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Because technology is really sitting me down and making me express my love for this game.
But here's the thing. As DJs, some of us are humble. Some of us are not so humble, right? But I want to make sure that you get your flowers, bro.
I appreciate that.
Right.
And yeah, this is a King Kong moment sometimes because everybody want to celebrate their win.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I celebrate my losses too.
Yeah.
Because it's a lesson in that.
Mm-hmm.
But I sit back and I admire everything you do because you're a visionary. You do things that's leading up to something else. And I learned that with you over time.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people it's something behind that door.
Yeah.
He's standing in front of it, but it's something behind that door, and it's a build up. It's a build up. And when you reach out to me, I don't question nothing. I don't question nothing.
I appreciate that.
I get you 2 words. I'm there.
And you do.
I'm there.
And you do.
I
appreciate that. Well, and it's not always that same thing in other lanes.
It's got to be, and I think that should be on everybody's agenda
But it's not.
For
And what I had to learn about that is that not everybody's gonna go with you.
no, you're gonna outgrow. You're definitely gonna outgrow a lot of things in life. Even your family, your peers, and your loved ones. You're gonna outgrow things because it's a learning process. It's growing pains.
Yeah.
It's growing
absolutely.
pains. And with that being said, I learned the same folks you see going up the ladder is the same folks you're gonna see coming down the ladder.
that ladder. Yeah.
But my thing is this: love me more while I'm up there,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I'm gonna need it when I come back down there.
Yeah, because
That's a fact, Jack.
people love a tragic story, a story of somebody
Yeah,
that's
because
high and fall down.
It's because they don't think we human.
Well, because we don't present ourselves as we are human. Like, we do some phenomenal shit.
Of course, yeah, we got to be our own biggest fan. But go ahead.
Yeah, but just like you said earlier in the interview, Dashback DJ Diamond is up here. And today, Derek might be right here. Right? I get it all the time. Vader. Like, I'm supposed to be up here. I'm very cordial, but sometimes I might be feeling like I'm down here. Right? And I don't have that energy. Right? And so, as DJs, you're right. We are sometimes put in unpredictable situations that, like, this is the real me. And if it's your first time meeting me, I'm sorry you had to meet me this way. But this is how I'm feeling in this moment, right? Now, when you come to a party, that's a different scene. You got bourbon pouring, you got people dancing, you got
It's
like
a
all this
plethora of
stuff.
everything.
Yeah. And so it is a like you said, a character, a person outside of yourself. Most DJs, I said this on another show, most DJs are really introverts.
I'm glad you have identified the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
I am to myself, by myself. I could be at a spot, and I could tell people what went on. They be like, "You was there?" Yeah.
Yeah.
When people used to shout me out on the microphone, I'm like, "Don't do that," because I'm in Derek mode.
Yeah.
I'm in Derek mode. I'm coming here to support you. It's a show coming up on March 14th. It's a Zoe and one tall black guy.
Yeah. I'm be there.
At the Redmore. DJ Well Blended.
Yeah.
He's DJing. Even though I love one tall black guy, but I'm going to support DJ Well Blended.
Yeah.
Not only is he a DJ from Cincinnati, but he's a DJ that plays that shit.
Yeah, he does. He does.
And I'm going as a fan
Yeah.
of
He
his work.
does.
And I'm in the building.
Yeah, he's done every Zoe showing, every Zoe concert that's been here. Shout out to True Fire and Well Blended. He's been the DJ. I told another story on a previous with Well Blended. The beginning of the pandemic, Zoe was coming here. I was bringing him here to have an album listening party.
Oh, word?
Yes. And it was supposed to be on like March 12th, March 14th, or maybe February 12th, or whenever the world shut down. It was supposed to be. So me and Zoe, we had this stuff going. It was supposed to be at Artsville, and we had flyers going. We had the whole promotional thing going. And so people started getting sick. And more people started getting sick.
Oh.
And like me and Zoe was on the phone, and like I said it early on another episode. So if you listen to that episode, thank you. But the point is, we had to make a really sound decision. Are we gonna do this and risk somebody getting sick and dying, or are we gonna cut this out? And we came up to the decision to cut it out. And so Yeah, I'm gonna be at that concert.
Yes.
It's gonna be a great one. And shout out to Quay and shout out to the DJs that don't get the recognition that they deserve.
It's and I'm glad you opened up that window, because it's a lot of DJs that is embracing the art of DJing versus the state of DJing.
Yeah.
And those two are two different worlds. And one DJ, I don't want to. All the DJs here in the city, this is what I want to share with them. If it don't feel right with you, don't display it to others. Because if it don't feel right to you, because all they see is you in the booth. If you don't feel good, you ain't gonna perform good.
That's true.
So if it don't feel right with you, don't display it.
Yeah.
Because don't take it. Because it's gonna show. If it don't come out of the wash, it's gonna come out of the rinse. So, and stop making yourself available if they can't afford you.
Yeah. And you know what? That's a powerful.
And I'm not
lesson.
saying go broke, and because I know the 150s add up, but it's 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah, and that's 4 to 5 hours.
You can never get back.
You can never get back. And so when I'm glad you brought that up, because what it comes down to is that sometimes you know who you can call and who you can't.
Boy.
And I don't ever want to be on the you know who you can call list. And it's not to say that at one time I was not on that list. I was on that list, right? For the people that I was loyal to, right? But you know, and now I feel good that that's not me.
Oh, I can say I can show my measuring stick.
Yeah.
At first I talked about it,
Yeah.
but now I can show my measuring stick, and it's not even. I'm not even talking about my accolades or my resume. I can just talk about it with this.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when you book me, you ain't got to question, is it money well spent? You got to question that.
Yeah. You already know.
Because it's in my DNA to. I'm here. I'm here. It's one of the two things that's going to happen. They're going to have a damn good time, or they're going to have a damn good time.
That part.
Ain't no way about it, because I program myself to deliver that level of quality of work.
Yeah.
I literally program. I sit in my truck at the venue before I start. And I say my prayer. And at that point, it's God using me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's God using me. So Vader, at the end of the day, this what you're doing right here, man, this is definitely inspirational for me
Thank you.
tap into another realm of branding myself in another aspect. Not for podcasts, just something else that can be a part of the DJ culture, because we all got to bring something more to the table besides the skill set.
I'm glad that you wanted to tell your story, right?
Oh yeah.
And that's all I wanted.
Oh,
Like-
that's cool. That's
like,
something simple.
You know, and share some bourbon with my dude. So, but at this point, we're at the part of this or that. So I'm
Okay.
gonna give you two choices. It's gonna be rapid fire, and we are going to go into this or that, and let's get ready for that. Okay. All right, so you ready for this or that? Okay. High energy hype set or smooth vibey set?
Smooth vibey.
Okay. DJing indoors or outdoors?
I love outdoors.
Live scratching or seamless blending?
Seamless blending.
Beat juggling or wordplay transitions?
Wordplay transition.
Outkast or Trap Called Quest?
Oh, you killing me. You killing me, Smalls. You killing me. Oh, my. Out Tribe. Outkast the Tribe. It's Outkast, man. Vader. Outkast.
Okay. All right. House party or main stage festival?
House parties.
Travel for gigs or stay local?
Travel.
DJing solo or back-to-back set?
Back to back.
Okay. All right. So, bourbon or whiskey?
Bourbon.
Neat or on the rocks?
Neat.
Sipping slow or shots?
Sip.
All right. Kentucky bourbon or Tennessee whiskey?
Kentucky.
There it is. There it is. All right. So that is going to do it for another episode of Beats and Bourbon. This is my man, the legendary DJ Diamond, one of my favorites. And I am so honored that you came, brother. I appreciate you being here.
My man. Man, I ain't did this much smiling since a kindergarten picture from Sears. Remember Sears portrait?
Yeah, that's why this episode is probably like the longest one that we've ever had. So I appreciate you being here, man.
Thank you, man, for having me.
Salute.
My man, thank you.
Where can they find you at?
Oh, man, DJ Diamond 513. That's my Instagram. Derek DJ Brown. No, DJ Diamond Brown is my Facebook. I'm on TikTok, DJ Diamond 513. And that's about it. Yeah.
Instagram?
Yeah, it's DJ Diamond 513. That's my IG.
Okay. All right. And you can where can they hear you at locally?
Oh man, I'm on the radio too.
Yeah.
See, that's that humble talking. No, I'm on 101.1 The Wiz Monday through Friday, noon to 1 p.m. Friday night Boombox Mix Friday, 9 o'clock p.m. to midnight. And I'm also on a radio station in Dayton, 92.1 WROU. Mm-hmm. That's
shout
in Dayton.
Faith.
And Faith Daniels put me on to that. So I'm on 3 radio stations, and that's it, man. I'm excited, man. God, you fucking with me, brother. this is a moment because this is a moment, brother.
Let me tell you something. We all deserve our flowers.
Yeah, and it's what's crazy.
We can't read our own obituaries, bruh.
Oh,
we cannot read our own obituaries. So, flowers. And if anybody's watching this, Beats and Bourbon is to give DJs their flowers, right? DJs have a journey and they have a story. Each DJ, even if you're a DJ in a corner pub that only 3 people goes to, that DJ has a story, right? From the greatest DJs to the not so great DJs.
Yeah.
Every DJ has a story. So, salute to you, brother. Welcome to another episode of Beats and Bourbon. We see you next time.